the end of the course expectations, which I have already gone over with you guys. But I want to make sure that you guys are clear about them. So I'm going to share my screen now with everybody. Second. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my screen now. And let's start with getting to our class website. And I know you, for the most part, know how to do this, but you Google search my name, and I know you probably have this bookmarked, right? And then you go to the first link, which is my page. Once you're on my page, you're now going to get to our class page by hovering your mouse over courses and going down and clicking on Theory of Knowledge 32 SIB, okay? Now that you're on this page, you can scroll. You don't need to go to any other pages, really, because I've put everything you guys need right on this main page. So this main page has all the information you need for the end of the year stuff. So for example, if I scroll down, here's obviously the information to connect to Teams. You already knew that. Here is the end of year assignments. So this is the stuff for the assignments. And there was a question about the form for the alternative versions of the TOK presentation. It's just below that. So just below that, it should say TOK presentation changes, and there's the form right there for you to fill out, okay? I'll go over the details of what I have in that form in a minute, but I'm gonna go back here to end of year assignments because I think that's important, right? We gotta get to these end of year assignments to wrap up the course, okay? As I've already said, some of these were from before remote learning began. So this was stuff we did in school. Most of this course is credited from your participation in class. So that's the majority of your mark. So that's why it's really difficult not to get a credit in TOK unless you're just not in class. But there were a few things that you would have had to do slightly outside of class and then hand in. And that's what that's a list of, just those things. And then since remote learning began, there was also a couple more things. Most of those things were electronic forms to fill out. And then of course, these last two things are the two big final essay and final presentation for the course. And yes, the presentation has now been changed. So that's an option, right? So now we're left with the time remaining in this class, right? So what are we going to do with these last classes? I'm not going to give you more TOK content. This is time for you guys to use so you can get the best grade possible in TOK, okay? I am here on Teams to support you to do this, right? So I want you to have the opportunity for this to take place. The biggest thing, obviously, is the essay and the presentation, or whatever you've substituted for the presentation. Those are very important to your grade. In grade 12 TOK, those are the only two things the IB cares about. They don't care about anything else. There's no exam in TOK like other IB subjects. So it's all about the essay and the presentation. And here in grade 11, they are a big part of your grade in grade 11 TOK. So what you want to do is you want to look at that booklet I printed for you guys. I printed it for you and gave it out in class, but it's also available on our website, right? There's descriptions here. There's other places on the website where you can find a link to that booklet, the guide for the TOK presentation and essay. And it's quite big. It's quite a few pages, right? 22 pages. So I did include like a table of content so you can get right to the specifics of it. Like if you want to look for a specific marking area or you want to know some of the specifics, that's there. But in general, I would recommend you cruise through this booklet and get some ideas. Some of the documents are directly from the IB, and some of them are things that I created to help you guys understand this concept. But even if that's confusing, okay, remember, I'm here to support you guys. Here's a big thing. Both the essay and the presentation in TOK focus on this thing called a knowledge question. We've talked about it in class, but if you don't know what the IB or what I mean by knowledge question, that's going to affect your mark on the essay because the rubric that I didn't design, but the rubric that marks those two things really stresses knowledge question, okay? They are not, like, for example, if you're doing an essay or a presentation on something that you're interested in, like say physics or history, you're not doing it for your history teacher or your physics teacher. This presentation and this essay is a philosophical, epistemological essay or presentation, and it needs to focus on knowledge. Yes, you can talk about content. Yes, if you're doing a presentation on like beauty standards, you can show video clips from TV shows and stuff like that. But you have to keep coming back to the TOK stuff. How is that knowledge derived? What are the ways of knowing that that knowledge incorporates? So the TOK stuff. Okay, next important thing to say, and this is about the essay. For your essay, because it is an important part of your mark, I would hate for you guys to go down the wrong path. So for example, doing what I just said. So writing an essay as if you were writing it for an English teacher or a history teacher, and focusing on the things that isn't going to really pay off in your mark. So I think you can and should submit a draft, excuse me, of your essay so that I could take a look at it ahead of time. And then if you're going down the wrong path, or if I have suggestions, that can help your mark. Now, I realize you guys have a lot on your plate. You may not be able to do that, but I strongly recommend it. And to also help prepare you for this, that's what these forms were for. These forms were to slowly ease you towards thinking about that essay and that presentation. Those forms, which were part of your unit marks back in the language unit and the sense perception unit, one of them was on there, they were designed to lead you towards that. Now, after you fill them out, I realized later, a couple students emailed me, Mr. Wax, I don't remember what I put on the forms, and I'd like to know so that I can use it for my essay. Well, I can send you that information, and I've since now modified the form, so it should also send you that information back if you fill out the forms properly, okay? So that's that about the forms. All right, another thing about the essay. Someone sent me a great question over email. Do these essays need to follow a specific format, like MLA, APA, Chicago? Mr. McGuire often teaches Chicago for IB History. Mr. McWilliam teaches MLA for IB English. Maybe you have a different teacher teaching a different. Look, the reality is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which essay style you pick. You just have to pick one of them. It is an essay, so it has to follow an essay structure, right? Introduction, body, conclusion, good grammar, it's typed, etc. And it probably should follow one of those formats, okay? But I'm not going to be a stickler about that, okay? As long as I get an essay, that's all that matters, okay? That's all that really matters, but yes, it should follow some type of structure. Okay, so you might be wondering, for the presentation, what has the class decided to do? So I collected the statistics this morning, and here they are. So only 10 of the 15 students in class have actually answered the survey, telling me what they're going to do for instead of doing a presentation in class. Out of the 10, here's what the statistics say. 2 students have answered that they, now, when I say 2 students, I mean 2 students who filled out the form. They actually might be part of a larger group. Are going to be coming in to present their presentation, and I'll be sending it out over Teams the way I'm doing right now with you guys. 2 students have indicated that they will be sending me a video. They'll be recording their presentation on video, sending me that video, and I'll share it on my website. So if you guys want to see that TOK present, you can. 1 student has indicated they will be sending me a video, but they're not comfortable with me sharing it with the rest of the class. 2 students have indicated that they will be doing a second essay instead of a presentation. And 3 students have indicated they will be expanding their original essay to a full-length TOK essay. That's what I've seen so far. Okay? That doesn't mean as well that you are absolutely committed to what you've decided. If you decide to change your mind, just let me know. I need to know so I can plan for this stuff, right? So I need to be able to make sure that I have everything set up for those who need me for this stuff. And that brings me to my final point. If you have any questions, if you need clarification, if you need help, if you're whatever you need, I'm here to help you guys, right? There are multiple ways to contact me. You can contact me with Teams right now. You can turn on your mic and talk to me. You can share a screen with me if you want me to look at your essay that way. You could put information in the Teams chat. You can email me. And I believe as of next week, you could even come in small groups and meet with me if that's something in person that you'd be interested in doing. Okay, I'm going to turn off the recording now.